is your champion.
402 yards for Troy Mullins.
The belt goes to Joe Miller. Sandra Caldwell.
5-time world champion.
Justin James is your champion.
If you aren't ready after that, then you're just not going to get ready. Welcome to the final stop on the 2018 World Long Drive Tour. We are live here on the Golf Channel for the 43rd Volvic World Long Drive Championship. The crowd is ready, and so are we. We've been here the entire season. Two-time Long Drive champion Art Sellinger. I am Jonathan Coachman. Jerry Foltz will be along in a little bit. For these competitors here tonight, Art, they've been chomping at the bit.
How they've been chomping 2 days to wait for one match, 8 golf balls, 3 minutes, try to win or go home. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to stay and quest for the title.
That's right. One night is not enough for this supersized event. Here's what you're going to see over the course of the next 2 nights. Tonight, the round of 16 for the men's open division, and then we will crown a champion at the end of the night in the Masters division.
That's going to be a great match there with Jeff Gavin and Eddie Fernandes. You'll see that later on. 8 matches tonight. Yeah. And then tomorrow night, of course, we'll go to the quarters, the semis, and we will give away some belts tomorrow night, Coach.
When you talk about star power here tonight, well, let's look at the current world rankings. 7 of the top 11 are still alive.
Green Bros of the top. Right there, you got Will Hogue, who's won 3 times. Of course, Ryan Steenberg won a tour event this year. Jeff Gavin at 50. Could he possibly pull it off a double?
The weather is always an issue, and it's been an issue the last couple of days here. A lot of rain, tonight some wind.
And this is why we do match play right here at the Volvic World Championship. The wind just switched. It was in the face, talking to Jerry Foltz downstairs there on the tee. Now it is downwind left to right, so it's changed, and it could be helping the players.
Let's get it going. Time to head down to the grid. And our man of the hour, Mark Sherman. Mark, take it away.
We are ready to go, and this first guy is on fire during the day, on fire at night. The firefighter out of Memphis, Tennessee. Give it up for Will Hogue.
A win would cap off a monster year for Will. He wants this championship belt. I can't tell you how much.
All the way from Turku, Finland. This newcomer is set on extinguishing Hogue and blazing his own trail. Give it up for Teemu.
A massive windup. Might as well swing as hard as you can in case you hit it, because you're facing Will Hogue.
For those of you new to World Long Drive, the higher seeded player has the option to go first or second. And Art, tonight, Will Hogue, the man to beat, has decided he'll be the first one off the grid.
He started that in Phoenix. He told me on the range before, I want to put pressure on this player who's never been under the lights. I want to put a number up that's going to scare him.
Will Hogue said that he feels as good as he's felt since Phoenix, and that if he does what he is capable of doing, he doesn't think that he has any competition here.
Absolutely. He thinks he controls his own destiny. What a great start to get a mark in the grid right there.
When you see green on the left side of your screen, green means in the grid. And how about 394 to start ball 1?
Awesome. He loves this left-right wing. It just tells me he is on fire. He came here so prepared. The first ball in a match is so critical. You don't want to get into that 5th, 6th, 7th ball not having a mark. You've seen that happen a lot on tour this year.
Will has so many people that are helping him. He wanted us to give a shout out to a lot of people back home in Tennessee, a bunch watching at the Ford dealership. They've got a big group tonight as they really support the first responders, which is really at the heart and soul of what this man is about.
They've been coming out all year to support him. So let's just see what kind of action he has. Jerry, how does he look to you down there?
Calm and comfortable, Art.
Right.
Very calm.
That's his vintage shot there. So this left to right win, what he's got to do is actually try to pull the ball. What I mean is kind of square, almost close the club face through impact so that left to right spin, the wind is magnifying that right now.
How important is pacing when you're hitting 8 balls in 3 minutes?
Well, yeah, you got 4 to hit, a minute and a half. There's a good one right here. That's the pull I'm talking about. I don't know if it'll come back, but that is the flight that he is looking for right there with less curve. Just barely out of play.
And once it goes outside of the grid, it cannot come back in. It is deemed an OB ball. So far, through 5 balls, just 1 in the grid at 394.
And we're going to show you the club speed on the left side of your screen right there, the ball speed, and the apex. That's the total height. Look at this ball speed at 216, 145 on the club. It's a perfect shot. It just didn't cut back.
Would you like being the first player off in such an electric atmosphere, trying to keep your nerves under wraps?
I love it, and I love that he chose to go first. He's got a great ball. He's just hit 3 holes that have not curved back. So what you need to do is just kind of aim inside the grid, because he's really not going to draw the ball. That's just a straight pull. So final ball here, 30 seconds. He kind of went a little quick. He likes to have about 15 going into that last ball, so he'll gather himself, very tall setup. See if he can best that number.
All right, that one looks good. The crowd likes it.
Right?
And that will be just short. So his number to beat, 394. Would you be comfortable, Art, with that?
Against Teemu, probably. I like it. I talked to Teemu on the range, and he looked a little bit scared. He really did. I mean, this is a new show for him. He has won an LD Tour event in Europe. So,
well, this is a guy, when you talk about Teemu Pitkanen, who is from Finland.
Right.
He qualified in a European qualifier, and I wished him good luck on the range, and he said, I'm going to need it. He said, I'm going to need it.
Right. The most famous long driver in history from Finland is Joonas Jutola, and we talked about Joonas, and he said he sent him a message saying, come on, remember the neighborhood. How about one for the Finns?
It is a long way from Finland to the Texas-Oklahoma border, that is for sure.
Good strike right here. Center face strike, a little pull. That's a good start.
Over the course of the next couple hours, we will really educate you on what the numbers, the club ball, apex mean.
So again, right here, I'll just kind of make it real simple for you. His car is going 204 miles an hour. We'll see how fast this one goes. Remember, Will was at 216. So when a car going down a racetrack at 204 miles an hour is going against one at 216, there's 199. So it's a little bit of speed difference right here. But, Coach, nothing bounces like a ball.
Anything is possible, as we've seen. That one way too quick, so 0 for 3 for Teemu Pitkanen. And the plus to Will Hogue setting a number as he sets a number. The downside is you've got to stand there and watch and hope that he doesn't hit 395.
Yeah, there's nothing Will can do right now. He says if I hit a good ball and he beats me, I'm going to be the first to shake his hand and go try to figure it out.
That one goes to the left, too. And we thought, Art, you've been around this sport for so long, is that the excitement would really be an issue for these players who this is the first time all year they've been under the lights.
They really have. But again, 9-event tour. Will made, I think, 6 of the shows, 4 on TV. He's made all the shows. So he's used to it. And he's been in this Volvic round of the 16 and 8 many times.
So far, 0 for 5 for Teemu Pitkanen. The number to beat, 394. Green means it's in the grid.
And that is a huge shot. Again, we have no roll out there. It rained about 1.5 inches. And it looks like, Jerry, the wind is dead left to right here right now.
It's actually helping a little bit, blowing at about 2 o'clock, but the ball art is just staying in the air forever tonight. And I don't know if that's the conditions or the fact they're spinning it more of it. The hang time's ridiculous.
And that one only, even if it would have been in the grid, Jerry, that would have been about 355. So somewhere, Teemu has got to find about 40 yards in the next couple of balls.
Right. That's a little bit over the top there. That means he swung to the left too much. He told me on the range, I have to swing as hard as I can. Again, he's new to this sport. He's studying to be a teaching professional. And again, this is just a stage he's never felt before. And Will said, I've got to do this. I got to go first and put it on him.
So one more ball, and Will Hogue will advance to the quarterfinals tomorrow night.
Yep, that'll do it right there.
And that'll do it. So,
but you have to really salute Teemu for this. I mean, you see his hands raised. You know he had a great accomplishment. You start with 96 and you make it to 16. Great accomplishment.
Let's take you back, Art, and show the people at home how Will Hogue got it done.
Right, there's that. Love that wide takeaway. Look how tall he is at the top. He's so strong. Here comes the left heel down. That's coming next. Watch the head go down and back, and there's the Will Hogue extension right there. Feet off the ground. That's a little vertical thrust. We'll tell you a little bit more about that afterwards. Just a classic balanced swing. Honestly, I think he's got more in the tank. Look at it one more time here. There's this huge windup, big shoulder turn, down and back, good extension. We've been watching it all year.
The crowd watching at home in his hometown in Tennessee, very happy, and they will be happy to see Will Hogue participate tomorrow night. We're just getting started. The faces, the names you will learn tonight. It'll take 2 nights to crown our champions, but it's the Volvic World Long Drive Championship just getting started. Here are the brackets. Will Hogue just moments ago advanced to the quarterfinals. Coming up next, we're going to have Justin Moose and Kevin Shook.
It's going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to the Berkshire Waldron match, and of course Ben Tuaone, Steenberg. We're action-packed tonight. Maurice Allen at the end, just loaded. And Tim Burke, I'll tell you what, I don't know if anybody wants it more.
Here are the rules of the game. Very simple. Each player will get 3 minutes to hit 8 balls. The longest drive will advance. It's a single elimination format. The ball must land and stay in bounds. Player hits when the previous ball stops or goes out of play.
And all the club heads conform, and the club lanes conform to the USGA rules. All equipment is legal.
It is time for match number 2. Let's send it down to the grid.
Out of Bradenton, Florida, he wants you to drive onto the green of the 555-yard par 5. Ready to impress, it's Kevin Shook.
He is a cagey veteran that continues to destroy the golf ball even at the tender age of 40.
And his opponent, whose real name is too good to have a nickname. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome out Justin Moose.
Technically one of the best golf swings in the game, but he struggled over the years in match play at this level. We'll see if he can pull it off tonight.
This man takes it as seriously as anybody that's out on tour. In fact, he decided earlier this year that he was going to quit his regular job to do this full time. Here's Justin Moose on that decision.
The grid is clear. Play
We'll get to that in
away.
a second. Kevin Shook is going first.
Shook tells me on the range, I'm going to hit it over the wall. You said that? Carl Walter, 2-time champion. He imagines a wall in front of him to get the launch and hit the ball up high. As I walked away, you know what he said, Coach? Jerry, you got to hear this one. He says, I feel like a hunter tonight, and I'm hunting moose. So he's all business, but he's having some fun as well.
You know, we've seen through the first 3 players a lot of balls going to the left. For Kevin Shook to beat a Justin Moose, what is he going to have to do?
He's going to. I think he's got to hit a solid shot and get the ball in early. Jerry, I'm seeing a little climb in his action. Very fidgety to address. If he swings down and across left, we're going to see some spin. That's a great flat flight there. Just needs to start it down the middle.
Yeah, the second one he didn't catch solidly. The first one, Art, he didn't hit over the wall. He hit it right through it.
Right through it, right.
And that one, again, like Will Hogue, just playing a little bit of a pull, expecting that breeze to bring it back, but it doesn't bring it back if it doesn't have any cut spin on it.
Right.
So far, there is a number to beat. That's very important when you're the first guy to hit. 351. This one might stay in the grid.
I'm getting a spin number here of almost 3,000. So what does that mean? That ball's kind of climbing up. It's got a little backspin on it, but 384, very nice.
Yeah, 33 yards longer than his first in the grid. So Justin Moose now knows that at a minimum, he's going to have to hit at 385.
That's the height he wants right there. That is the height that he wants. To use the wind, keep the ball in the air. Look how long this ball is in the air right here.
Oh, it just rolls out of the grid. But that would have been north of 400.
That was over the wall, Jerry.
The one thing I like about this sport, and we just saw it with Justin Moose behind Kevin Shook, they genuinely root for each other.
Yeah, it's a great fraternity out here. I mean, they're close. They want to win.
Look at that one. That stays in the grid just past the 390 mark officially. That'll be 391. Right now, Kevin Shook is swinging great.
He's swinging beautiful. He's made the final 16 3 of the last 4 years on this grid. Now look how high this one is. I'm anxious to see.
This has potential here.
Yes, I'm anxious to see the apex at 165. It just.
Okay, so that one, and Kevin Shook is fired up, and he should be.
Yeah, 4 out of 7 in, and
everyone is getting better. Should Justin Moose be worried at 396?
I think he is, because Will Hogue hit at 394, so those are big numbers right there. Shook can leave tonight knowing he really hit a golf ball hard.
All right, so a really good set for Kevin Shook. 396 will be the yardage to beat for Justin Moose. 4 out of 8. Really good set.
Yeah, I mean, he had 2 times on this grid getting beat by a half a yard in a round of 16.
Let's take a look at the big drive to beat presented by DXL. There you see the red line across at 396. That's what Justin Moose will have to beat. Now, as I mentioned, Justin Moose has decided to quit his career and do World Long Drive full time. Here he is on that decision.
So it's a dream of mine, obviously, to become a professional golfer and long driver. I remember writing essays when I was in 3rd grade. I wanted to be a long driver. I wanted to be a professional golfer. Just always hit it far, and it took a lot of years to do it, but making it happen now.
And here we go, everybody.
And he's really got some game. I mean, you'll see a classic setup here 2 years ago. He made the sectional qualifying of the U.S. Open. He loves playing competitive golf. I mean, now he's going to get to play, do exhibitions, compete in long drive. Definitely a big dream of his.
We had our spies on the range before we started, and Justin Moose, a lot of his balls were going high in the air, and that might be an issue with the way the wind is going right now.
I think he's just got to play golf. Justin's his best when he hits and plays golf. When we saw him win the East Coast Classic, the first event of the year, he was using his golf swing. I've talked to him a lot of times before these semifinals, quarterfinals, rounds of 16s, I just have to play golf. And what does that mean? I can hit the center of the face, and I can have good numbers.
396, the number to beat. And that one will come up short. That would have been around 390 if it would have stayed on the grid. So he's getting the distance.
Yeah, you'll see where all these top players are going to be tonight. I figured 385 to 405, depending on the conditions.
That one quick to the left.
Jerry, does he look a little quick? I mean, as a tour player, let's just say it looks a little fast from the top to me.
You know what? His misses aren't that far off.
Right.
He's really close to catching one in the grid. He's got, 3 of them now dead on the center of the club face. So you never know. All it takes is one, Art.
Yep. And here's one right here.
And he is walking after it. He likes it.
And great launch. Looked like low spin.
And that one just stops stone cold at 389. So I think he knew it was going to be a little bit short.
I mean, just barely. And again, imagine playing that. How about that for a long par 3 and the ball biting like that, huh? Getting it to check up at 390.
Because of the rain, because of how wet it is, certainly the longer hitters and the higher hitters, do you think they have the advantage here tonight?
It's who has the most speed, who can launch the highest and spin it the lowest. That's going to be the game tonight. And if you had any kind of average bounce and roll, you'd be seeing 425, 30-yard shots.
All right, that one is straight. We'll see if that's enough. 396, the number to beat. And it carries 400. Hashtag match 'em up.
Big shot right there, boys. Shook is just, burned on this grid. That's 3 losses in 4 years.
How about that? The man who won the very first tour event this year, Justin Moose, takes it down to 404.
That was his top ball speed of the night. Perfect launch. He rode that wind a little bit out there, that left-to-right wind, and just flew it 400 yards. Thanks for coming. That's 4 football fields, Coach.
That's a perfect example of it can happen at any time on any ball. Let's take a look how he got it done.
Love the classic setup right here. Great big shoulder turn. Good lateral shift, and every one of these long drivers, that head's going to work down and back as they go through. That is a big boy right there, hitting it hard. Coming right at you in full speed. Boom. And he knew it right there.
And Art, that was his 7th ball.
Right, he needed, he had that 389 out there. He needed 7 more yards, and took it up a notch.
Kevin Shook's got to be devastated because he had a great set, but Justin Moose at the end of the day carried it to about 399 and then he got about 5 yards of roll.
And he loved it, didn't he? I'll just go ahead and spike this thing.
That is big time. That's what this sport is all about, being able to deliver when you have to deliver and getting the job done underneath the bright lights. Justin Moose moves on. What a quarterfinal that's going to be tomorrow with Will Hogue. But coming up next, the youngest player in the field. He's got hair and what a heck of a swing. Kyle Berkshire is up next. It's time now to check out the State Farm Paralong Drive exhibition from earlier today, Art.
This is unbelievable. I mean, I watched, I was amazed at the athletic ability, the hand-eye coordination. I mean, to hit it solid and swinging that hard. I mean, Coach, I watched you. You can barely putt one-handed.
Well, the winning drive, amazingly, came from Jason Aiken of Thorpe, Wisconsin. Brought his A game. 274 yards was a winning drive for the Paralong Drive Challenge tonight. An amazing show of athleticism. All right, time for match number 3. Let's send it down to the grid.
Started his college career at the University of North Texas. Let's hear it from the whip, the mean green machine, Kyle Berkshire.
Anything short of winning this championship would be a huge disappointment for Kyle. He is here, and he is all business.
And his opponent, well, he might be good friends with Berkshire, but this is no friendly competition. But Big Mac, ladies and gentlemen, let me hear it for Jim Waldron.
You know, Jim knows he doesn't have the fastball that Kyle does, and he's going to have to hit his best shot tonight to take his buddy down.
Kyle Berkshire, perhaps the most violent swing on the World Long Drive Tour. And when you think about the swing, you think about vertical thrust.
Absolutely. What does that mean? He uses the ground so incredibly well. Watch right here. What we mean is, got a couple guys on this long drive tour. He'll plant this left leg. He's going to push down and explode off the ground. We see that with Justin James. Watch here the feet of Joe Miller coming up right now. There's the left heel. You got to pick it up off the ground. Move the weight to the right side. Push down. Up you go. That's Air Miller. Transfers to the PGA Tour as well. Look at Justin Thomas up on both toes right here. He's looking for optimal launch, and as well as the LPGA Tour and Lexi Thompson. Air Lexi, we call her. There you go. Both heels off the ground. That's how you hit it far. You use the ground.
All right. This is a rematch from the regular tour season stop here at the WinStar when Kyle Berkshire won that event and beat Jim Waldron in the finals.
Yeah, he made all of our shows. I mean, Kyle couldn't get off of getting eliminated in match play, and winning this event just was a relief. Feels like he's playing with house money.
Here's a guy who transferred to Central Florida, stopped playing collegiate golf, turned pro as a world long driver, has 70% hearing loss, but says that helps with the feel in his hands in this sport.
Right. 19 months ago, he walks in my golf shop 60 miles south of here in Roanoke, Texas. Had never hit a golf ball for long distance. Said, I watched him. He was 190 miles an hour, 195. Went to training. The next thing you know, now he's up there 215 to 220.
Jim Waldron told us yesterday, we just kind of hanging out, and we asked him, we said, what do you think about playing against Kyle Berkshire? He said, listen, he's one of the few guys on this tour that when you see that you're matched up with him in a match play situation, that you're worried about that.
Exactly. And I'll tell you what, you got to be worried. The first 3 off the grid, this is ball 4. It happens so quick, ladies and gentlemen. You know, and he epitomizes, as I say, violence over science. One speed, full speed. He's got to get one in. These are good shots. Jerry looks good, just barely outright. The ball's killed.
Somebody has taught him to breathe and not panic, because for the first, 4 shows we did this year, he got up in exactly this position and started to panic and started to rush. He looks calm even though he swings at it violently.
And Jerry, he put a lot of pressure on himself earlier this year, making all the TVs, not winning, not advancing, and said, I've got to be better when I'm on TV. Put the pressure on himself in the last couple of events. He has certainly stepped up. He won an event and then he was a runner-up in the next event.
Right. Yeah, Justin James beat him in Tennessee at the big shots by a couple yards. So here we go. It's getting critical. We've got to get one in. That's a duck hook left. So all of a sudden, it happened so quick. As I said it before, you waited 48 hours for 8 shots. You've got 50 seconds left. You got 2 golf balls. You got to gather yourself. You can't beat yourself. You have to make a mark. Do you have a golf swing that holds up under pressure to at least get a mark? Because you know you're fast enough.
When you go first, it's very important to put a ball in the grid, something that the second hitter will have to aim for.
Yeah.
Put a little pressure on himself. So,
Yeah.
final ball for Kyle Berkshire.
Oh man, what kind of pressure this is. What must be going through his mind right now? Let's see if he can pull it off.
For those of you wondering, it has to go at least 270 for it to count. That one is not going to make the grid. And so now all Kyle Berkshire can do after an 0 for 8 set is sit here and watch Jim Waldron. He just needs one ball to go in the grid, and Kyle Berkshire, one of our favorites, will be eliminated.
Yeah, 270 yards is the minimum. We've seen this countless times. Some have just one swing. Don't know that Jim is a golf instructor. Did he bring a high lofted club? Jerry, does this look any shorter, or does it look full length to you?
I just saw him reach in and grab one. It was obviously the one he had planned on, but it does look a little shorter.
Right. He's got a golf swing, and I think he's going to tone it down. And folks, the best way to hit a fairway when you're under the gun like this is aim way left over at that light tower and just hold on for dear life, and it'll come back because you got a low lofted club.
They could sky at 270.
Right.
That's not an issue.
And that looks like it is coming.
There's the peel fade right there.
And that's going to be plenty long enough. And so Jim Waldron on his second ball, it only took him 2, advances over Kyle Berkshire. And he's going to be extremely disappointed in how he performed here tonight.
He can't take it because he knows he can hit it 4 bills, and he really wanted to make Jim reach. But, cheers to Jim for playing the game the way it needs to be played. It's match play. You don't want to be a hero. You got to get one in. You don't want to get to a playoff, and he just did it. And the best way to do it is come over the top, aim way left. What a long backswing that was. And he just, finned it, necked it.
There are the pluses to going first when you have the decision. Yep. And here's another look at the winning drive. There's also the downside when you don't hit any in the grid.
Absolutely. It can work both ways.
So Jim Waldron will advance to tomorrow night. And Kyle Berkshire, the young stud, the young 21-year-old who many thought had the game, had the distance to become the evolving world champion, he will have to wait for next year.
This is painful for him right here.
We must move on. Coming up next, the beast from the Northeast. He's already won this year on tour as well. Ryan Steenberg takes on mid. Hey, match number 4 next. Welcome back. It's time for the Avis Road Trip. And Art, this tour and these athletes have traveled all over North America this season.
And we started in the Southeast there where Justin Moose won the East Coast Classic. Then we went out west for 2 great events in Mesquite and in Arizona. As you can see, they went all around, even north of the border there for the Bash for Cash. The last event before we were here was in Tennessee. So just a great tour. It's been a really nice year. Fun stuff.
We also had another event here at the WinStar earlier this season as well. 4 tour stops on TV here on the Golf Channel. And our first one, Clash in the Canyon.
There's Alexis Belton, who won her first title, 332 yards. And boy, did this man come out of the gate, Coach. He sent a message early to these tour members. This was win number 1, Will Hogue.
And then we traveled just outside of Phoenix, Akchin smashing the sun, and what a winning yardage for Phyllis Meddy.
380 yards the New Zealander put out there. That was huge.
That was an amazing moment to watch that thing roll and roll and roll. Then Will Hogue stamping that this was going to be his year.
Right, yeah, back to back. He loved that 421 out there.
And then later in the season, the Boardwalk Bash in Atlantic City.
And the lady that's won the most 5 world titles, Sandra Carlberg, just captured another tour event.
And somewhat of a surprise winner on the men's side, but proving that he belonged, Mark Costello.
In my 35 years in the sport that I've been around, this is probably some of the toughest conditions I've ever witnessed, and he just weathered the storm literally out there in Atlantic City.
And then our final TV stop. What an incredible atmosphere. And how about this young lady really putting her name on the map?
Emily Tuber from the LPGA Tour. We will see her tomorrow night. All she did was come out her first time and win. Thank you very much. And this man, the current World Long Drive champion, Justin James, a fantastic victory that night, besting Kyle Berkshire, winning this title.
And this entire season has culminated here at the beautiful WinStar Resort and Casino. 43 years we've been doing this.
It's been awesome since 1975.
All right, it is time for match number 4. Let's send it down to the grid.
Whether it's in the gym, at the buffet, or on the tee, he is ready to rip through the competition. Give it up for the pure muscle of Conan, Ryan Steenberg.
And Ryan is at his peak in the sport. He's had a great year on tour. He had that win, and he is all business tonight. I guess the gun show's on the tee, Coach.
This veteran of World Long Drive back to 100% and back under the lights where he belongs. Give it up for Ben Tuaone.
You have to see this golf swing to believe it. This is a real-life Gumby going to come out right here. Why he swings the club 90 degrees past parallel.
This should be a tremendous one-on-one matchup. Steenberg is a guy who won at the Bash for the Cash in July. He made it to the semifinals in Tennessee. He's been a runner-up at the Boardwalk Bash in June. So this is a guy that understands that when the pressure is on, he can get it done. And certainly, how about the family at home sitting out a tweet tonight?
The fam is watching.
They were there for that victory. He loved that.
With the wife and the kids. And we see you. We see you. We'll see if Dad and Hubby can get it done tonight. Conan, Beast from the Northeast. He's got a lot of different nicknames.
He does. And he can be called anyone he wants. And nobody's going to say anything. A little bit of spin right there, but down the middle, we saw how important it is to get a mark. Let's not forget, Will Hogue got that first ball in. That was big. But here's a mark, at least 370 and change.
You know, Ryan Steenberg owns a couple of gyms back home, and you know, a lot of the players out here will go to him with fitness questions, and he'll give them fitness advice. So he's really been a big help in getting these players to understand how important fitness is now in this sport.
Absolutely. Look at Jerry. We have a session with him tomorrow morning, don't we?
He actually was giving me some fitness advice at our last show, and it only is good advice if you listen.
Okay, I got it. Now, his golf swing has really changed over the last 2 years. He used to really come over the top. What I mean is on your screen, he'd be swinging way left over the top. So he's actually really worked on his golf swing, which is, and with that physique, to be able to get the club somewhat to the inside is a feat right there. You can see he's aiming a little bit right. Going to take the club a little inside, and then boom, right down Main Street. A little bit of cut.
That one looks like it's going to fall outside the grid, and it does. So far, the number on the board for Steenberg, 372.
Breeze has really died right now, guys. They're not getting nearly the help from behind, and almost blowing barely to the right at all.
Oh, this is hit. Look at the, I got to look at the apex on this one. It's a little flat at 129. It won't get roll.
Yeah, it really got maybe a yard or two.
So that's a little flat right there, meaning 129 feet up. We got to get that ball north of 150 so it stays in the air.
We had Will Hogue around 395, Justin Moose over 400. If you're in the 370, 375 range, how comfortable are you feeling?
Well, I think he feels fine. He just has to get the golf ball higher. There's a couple ways to do that. Add more loft, get another golf club, or set up a little bit more underneath it behind the golf ball. And like Kevin Shook said, hit it over the wall.
Time not an issue, plenty of time on the clock. That's ball number 7. That will go to the left of the grid. So, Ryan Steenberg down to his final ball, and he would very much like to improve on his 372 mark. So last year?
Yeah, let's take a look at the setup right here. See if he can stay behind this one. Work underneath, swing up to the sky. Very nice. Oh, the wind just taking that ball. That is hit. That was his biggest shot of the night. Unfortunately, going to be out of play.
Yeah, he knows it too. He knows he missed one. He missed one right there. So Ryan Steenberg is going to put a mark at 372. And that is the yardage to beat.
And
let's take a look at the big drive to beat by our good friends at DXL on the beautiful grid here at the WinStar. So if you are now Ben, what is your thought process when you know that's your number?
This man hit 9 sets, and he won in every single set, 1,800 points out of a possible 1,800 points. So just keep doing what you're doing. But let's take a look.
You know, if he looks like somebody to people at home, well, you would not be mistaken. Let's show who exactly he looks like and give me the relationship.
Well, he looks like Tony Finau. That's his first cousin. They learned how to play. That's Tony Finau on the right, but they had different golf swings. Ben goes 90 degrees past parallel. Tony gets it to about 70 degrees just going back. They spoke on the phone today. Tony, of course, hoping for a Ryder Cup bid, wishing Ben good luck. And again, they grew up, lived in the same house, so it's a pretty cool story here.
I think if you're Tony, you're feeling pretty good about getting that last bid. Thackerville and Bryson DeChambeau got the 3 captains picks earlier today. You saw that live here on the Golf Channel. So Ben, 7 years ago,
Right.
made it all the way to the end here at the Volvic World Long Drive Championship, was the runner-up. So he has skills, he has yardage, but injuries have been an issue.
They really have, and he didn't hit very much on tour for injury reasons, but he is no stranger to these lights. He knows how to play the long drive game under the pressure.
Tendinitis, 2017 really kept him away from the grid. His 3-month-old and his wife are here this week.
Yes.
So they're in the stands somewhere to support their guy.
And Art, he's hitting it very, very low.
Yeah, he is hitting it low, and it was into the wind early in qualifying on Friday and Saturday, and he's a little quicker than I'd like to see him right now in his transition. He can just let that club set at the top before he goes the other way.
I was talking to Justin James on the practice tee, watching him hit. They're good friends, and he said this guy can definitely win the big ones, but it almost always favors him with the firm grid or into the wind. This might not be playing into his strong suit.
I'd like to see him get behind the golf ball here, just like this. I've been hoping the first 4 he never got behind the golf ball. This guy's a player. He won Utah City or Salt Lake City Amateur. He's played a lot of competitive golf. Treat it like a golf shot. And he did. There you go.
That one's going to stay on the grid. We'll see if it's enough. 372 is what he needs to advance. And that had no roll whatsoever, just short of 370. So Steenberg is still alive. And for those of you just joining us, a lot of rain the last couple of days, and it's very, very soft out there.
Right. I would continue to get behind this golf ball, treat it like a golf shot. See if you can get back behind this ball. Here you go. Gather yourself. You got 2 shots, 30 seconds a shot. Put yourself on your favorite par 4 or 5 and play golf, because 372 is a very gettable number for Ben. And I love this tempo and this pace.
There you see Steenberg, a very interested observer.
Oh, great hit. Great hit. Needs a little wind to hold it.
And you can see that one's going to drift off to the left. So, oh, it's just out at 369. So now Tuaone is down to his final ball, or Ryan Steenberg will continue his good season into the quarterfinals.
Inside open face, no good. Tell you what, Steenberg got away with one, and he knows it at 372. He thought he had to hit it at least 90 against Ben, and but that's match play long drive right there. We've seen a lot of stuff happen tonight.
So far, other than Kyle Berkshire, the higher seeds have advanced through the first 4 matches here at the Volvic World Long Drive. How did Steenberg get it done?
We look here, look at this big turn right here. I mean, he's got a huge turn back, way behind the golf ball right here. And again, look at this hip turn as well, going way back. And that extension on the way through, phenomenal strength right there. Again, that was a flat ball. If that's a fast grid, that ball's 415.
Well, still to come, we have plenty more names ready to hit. That is the man with 5 kids, Ryan Reisbeck. 4 more matches to decide the quarterfinals for tomorrow night. 2018 Volvic World Long Drive Championship. Synthetic Turf International manufactures in Dalton, Georgia, with local representation throughout the United States and Canada. It produces various types of turf for everything from playgrounds to sports fields to putting greens and driving ranges. Related to golf, their Easy Tee turf is designed for results-oriented practice and allows for a true natural swing with the ability for the golfer to use a real tee. For the 2018 Volvic World Long Drive Championship, STI shipped over 2,400 square feet of turf, and workers assembled the stage in 6 hours, with the end result for professional look and feel for the competitors. A big thank you to our friends at Synthetic Turf International for this beautiful tee box that you see right here. In fact, it's time to head back down for match number 5.
Ladies and gentlemen, so right now, let me hear you. It is time to meet this guy. It's his 3rd year on tour. Out of Denver, Colorado. Give it up for Josh Cassaday.
He's got all the tools, size and strength. It's critical that he gets off to a good start in this set if he's going to win this match.
His opponent, he is the family man, the father of 5 out of Layton, Utah. It's the big deal, Ryan Reisbeck.
A veteran that's won numerous tour events. He's never made a serious run at this belt. That can all change tonight.
He doesn't want to be called the old man of the men's open division, but I think you could say he's the most respected man in this group. 5 kids, family man. They go to a lot of the events with him. Certainly Ryan Reisbeck is very focused tonight, but Josh Cassaday will go first. He hasn't been on TV at all this year, but this is the guy that really wants to do well.
Made a Final 16 last year, and you're right, has not had the year he's wanted, but he's going full-time at this, competing in every event, played a lot of college basketball, big guy, 6'6". His weakness we got to watch for, Jerry, if you look at it down there, are the legs, the knees. They get a little bit too flexible, and that leads to some errant shots. We'll see if he can stabilize the legs.
Nicknamed All Day Cassaday. His best friend, Wes Patterson, unable to make it to the round of 16, but I know he's wishing his good friend the best here tonight.
Oh, good shot. Little open. Solid. Tempo looks pretty good to me, Jerry.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, and there is a little more stability through impact than we're used to seeing. Let's see if that equates to getting a big one in the grid. Like that one.
Right.
Yeah, he likes that one. We'll see how far it goes and if it stays in the grid. Oh, it does. How about that? Out past 390 is Josh Cassaday, so a really good number with his 3rd ball.
That's what I talked to him on the range, and he said, I got to get one in early. We talked about that to get a number. Didn't want to feel the heat of being 0 for 6 or 7, so this takes a huge load off of him, puts the pressure back on Reisbeck.
You know, Cassaday is one of those, what I call a new breed of World Long Drive, really into social media, really is into digital media, really understands that if he doesn't push his brand, nobody's going to push his brand. So you just saw it off the grid with Alexandria that he's got a lot of interest that he does when he's away from this.
So what the long drivers do here, once they get a ball like that in, now it's time to just turn it up as much as you can and try to time your jump and get one over for 4 bills. Solid. Little pull, but very solid right there.
All right, 2 balls left. Time, not an issue. In fact, he may be going a little bit too fast.
He's fine. I like it. And he's gone down to a 47-inch driver. And again, Jerry, it looks like a toy to me in his hand at 6'6", but this is only about 1.5 inches over standard. So he's looking for accuracy because he's been beat by going over.
It looks like a wedge with a driver head on it.
Oh, good shot there.
Yeah, that's the flat one that's staying in the air. Little baby draw.
He said he was going to aim at that tree down the right side and try to turn it.
Yeah, only about 2 or 3 yards of roll short of the 390. So final ball, the 8th ball, 390, the number to beat for Josh Cassaday. And then he will set the driver down and Watch Ryan Reisbeck go at it.
Good shot here. This is a really good shot right here. See what the ball, oh no, he must have skied it. 199 on the ball speed.
Yeah. All right, so a good set, 3 in the grid, 390 is the yardage to beat. Appreciates the crowd. This crowd has been electric for a couple of hours now. All right, we have social media all over the place for these players here tonight. Cindy Amador, let's do this, Reisbeck. We are rooting for you. Be a part of the conversation. Hashtag World Long Drive on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Art, what is Ryan Reisbeck going to have to do to hit at 391?
He is going to have to hit a really big shot because we've seen tonight the big guys, you know, 394, 404. So he's got to hit his shot. His problem is leaving the face open and hitting the ball to the right. So he's got to square up. He's just got to hit the ball with a square face, launch it high. He's got enough speed.
Reisbeck, a winner of the 2017 Clash in the Canyon in Mesquite. That one will be on the grid. We'll see how far it goes. And just short of 390, so Reisbeck will keep hitting.
And I had the spin there, Jerry, at about 2,800 on my machine on the track. Man, they fed to me there. So again, a little lower spin, a little higher launch. That's the key. We need launch at about 14 degrees, 15 degrees. It's all carry.
That ball had the ideal launch conditions, just not the line right there. That was high with right spin.
Yeah, 12 launch.
The last 3 events on tour this season, Reisbeck made it to the quarterfinals. Ball number 4.
I mean, you can't take 390, 95 for granted here. Obviously, I mean, these players have hit the ball. I mean, Justin wins last year at 435. This grid's soaking wet. It took an inch and a half of rain last night. This is playing lawn darts at 395. I mean, it's huge.
Do you think the players are thinking about that, and because of that, over-swinging, where a lot of balls are really going quick to the left?
I think that's nerves. I don't think it's in any kind of change in their arsenal what they want to do. I think that's just nerves being a little bit quick.
Tonight's the first night this entire season that these players and hitters have been under the lights.
Right.
And the nerves and the excitement certainly at another level. So ball number 6 from Ryan Reisbeck. The big deal. He knows that's not far enough, reaching down for his next ball. All right, 2 more to go for Reisbeck as Josh Cassaday looks on. One of the classier individuals you'll meet out here, Josh Cassaday. That one will go off the grid. So Ryan Reisbeck down to his final ball.
And 8 seconds left, so he kind of mismanaged his time. He's going to have to really kind of rush this. Little mismanagement right there, and you can see that he's really got to be mad at himself right there. That's a huge mistake, and Josh Cassaday will advance right there.
What a time to get it done this year under the lights. Josh Cassaday, and certainly very excited, very happy that he will continue on to the quarterfinals tomorrow. And Ryan Reisbeck, the veteran Art, has got to be very disappointed with his performance here tonight.
Yeah, clock management was a little bit rough. The ball strikes weren't there, and I'll tell you what, let's take a look at this golf swing right here. Josh Cassaday. And again, you look at this knee right here. Right there, I mean, big knee flex there. He's inverted his foot right there. And of course, the golf club at the top, way past parallel. But look at this right here. Look where the head is. That's where long drivers have their head at impact right there. And this was the knee action I was talking about right here. Both those knees, if we can get those a little bit straighter, he will kill it. Great performance.
All right, so far 5 men have qualified for the quarterfinals, but this man feeling all the pressure. He's a 2-time Volvic World Long Drive champion, and he says this year is his year. You'll find out why it means a little bit more to him now. Tim Burke tees it up next right here at the Volvic World Long Drive Championship. Some of these spectacular sights and sounds that we've already experienced here tonight, they're all fighting for that right there. The right to be called the Volvic World Long Drive Champion. They will be crowned tomorrow night live here on the Golf Channel. You see those golf balls right there? Well, Volvic is the official ball of World Long Drive, and these guys and gals are using the Volvic Vivid XT. It was created for the fastest swings.
Soft matte finish right there. Again, going with the green and yellow tonight. Those are the ones that are flying 4 bills right down the fairway here at WinStar. Cheers to them. Great product for these competitors to hit.
All right, it's time for match number 6 here tonight. Let's send it back down to the grid.
Oh, yeah, buddy. It's the All-American out of Wheaton, Illinois. Let's see what he does for us tonight. Give it up for Stephen Coyce.
Absolutely fantastic fundamentals. If he overswings, he's going to be in trouble against Burke. This guy's got a quiet confidence about him.
He's a 2-time World Long Drive champion out of the University of Miami. Let me hear it for Tim Burke.
He wants this title so bad. Number 3. He might want it too much. Can he control the adrenaline and his emotions and deliver tonight?
Well, he wants to make it clear, Tim Burke, that even though he hasn't had a great year, and we understand that it's about the collective career, and that he understands that when you get to this stage, he knows how to get it done.
He put the tour season to bed, and this is a new start for him.
But
All right, Stephen Coyce will go first.
And we saw what he did in Tennessee, Coach, at the big shot. 7 out of 8 right down Main Street. Again, look at this classic setup. Didn't waste any time, and he just picked up where he left off right down Main Street.
Certified personal trainer, Coyce, and we've seen him a couple of times. So first ball sets the number just over 380. And he has this quiet confidence about him, and every time you talk to him, you get the feeling that self-confidence is not an issue with him.
When you're fundamentally this sound, Coach, I mean, you're going to hit good golf shots. Can you imagine Jerry being a member at Medina, and he's your fitness trainer and your swing coach? You walk in as a member. That's pretty cool.
He should get bonus yards for hitting that first one as straight as he did. That did not miss the sprinkler line.
Right.
The reminder, 8 balls, 3 minutes for each competitor. The longest distance moves on to the quarterfinals live tomorrow night here on the Golf Channel.
So I love that posture. Look at that flat back right there. Arms right down below his chin. Beautiful golf swing right there. Just didn't turn it over, didn't shut the door. Is there a little more wind left, right, Jerry?
Very little wind at all. The wind sock that's on top of the Jumbotron is just flickering about a little bit. This guy with a gorgeous golf swing, no bad habits, no bad record, no bad grades. He doesn't have a, we made fun of it last time, doesn't even have a nickname that's disparaging, so we're nicknaming him the Golden Angel.
All right, 5 balls down, 1 in the grid, 382. Time, not an issue.
That was the first time I've seen him really overswing and try to take it to another level. See if he gets back in his rhythm. Just leaving the face a little bit open right there.
So here we go. Let's make some noise for the last.
There is no number that Coyce will hit that will scare Burke. Burke's competition is with Burke. That's a fact right there. There's no number that will make him try to change his strategy.
That is such a great point, Art. That is such a great point. It's just a battle within, and not many guys have the strength to be able to say that. And the question is, as you mentioned, does he want it too badly? Does it mean too much?
Right.
Time will tell here shortly.
Final ball for Coyce. And that one way to the left, so the number to beat for 2-time champion Tim Burke will be 382.
And we kind of look at that set and say, wow, he hit 7 out of 8 in Tennessee in the fairway. Here he went 1 for 8. I got to be honest with you, I think the 382 is as far as he could hit that golf ball tonight. Really, with his numbers, I think he just tried to overswing and improve something that was really good for him.
All right, we talk about how much Tim Burke wants this, and his life has really changed over the course of the last year. He's got a new little one at home, and I asked him a couple of weeks ago how much this means to him now and how important it is for him to win.
mean everything. You know, I'm gonna have my got a little baby. Yeah, I want to win.
5 seconds says it all.
It just says it all right there. I mean,
The little man did not make the trip, but Tim Burke's been here for a few days, and he said, Coach, not only do I want to win, I want to put on a show, and I want to show the people why I am one of the greatest world long drive hitters to ever live.
runner-up in 2012, wins in 13, won again here right on this grid. And again, on this golf swing right here, can he square it up? He usually, if he misses, it's to the right. So let's see if he can square it up and do it early. There's another right ball, and that's a big spin. That right there is the telltale sign of swinging downward on the attack and across the golf ball with an open face, and that's his big miss. So he's got to calm it down. He's got to make that adjustment right now by hitting to the inside and letting that face square up. Cannot miss this ball to the right.
Former baseball player at Miami.
Might have too much spin on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one lands outside of the grid. So far for Tim Burke, 0 for 3.
So the speed is there. And again, he was down against the wire in qualifying. His last 2 sets were great, over 400 yards. So here's the fix right here, Jerry. We've seen it. He hit 3 balls way right. You're like, okay, looking at your clock dial, I'm going to go ahead and swing to 10 o'clock now because they're all going to 2 o'clock. And that's really not the fix. You have to trust it, swing down the fairway, and let the club release.
Halfway home, no balls in the grid. And that one's going to drift off to the right. So 0 for 5. And the former college baseball player in Miami has 3 balls left. What does he need to do in these final 3 hits?
Jerry, we both know it. I think you got to aim right and hit the pull. I think he's now opening up and going the other way, trying to hit the fade. Going to go with that format. And that's the pull right there. See, that would have been perfect had you aimed in the fairway. I never think that you should give the fairway up and aim outside the lines. Your aiming points have to be inside the lines because you can't afford a shot like that. Because look at that, 218. That was a winner by 15 or 20.
Stephen Coyce, all he can do is watch. His 382 thus far has stood up. And that one's going to be in the grid. We'll see if it's enough for Tim Burke. And that is plenty.
Huge.
That is plenty.
214 on the ball. That's huge.
How about that? 397. That deserves a hashtag match him up.
Yeah, he's definitely got the speed. Just got to find the grid. That ball before that was pulled, that was big.
Well, he was 0 for 6 before that, but on the 7th ball, Tim Burke got it done. Let's see, Art, how he got it done.
Okay, so we look at his golf swing right here, and look again where this golf club goes right here, way past parallel. The club face is shut right there. But again, you do not have to have a straight left arm to hit it far. And we'll stop it right here at impact. Good extension right there. I mean, he's just so powerful to generate 214, 15 miles an hour. If he can square it up, he controls his own destiny. We said that.
I mean, he told me specifically, Art, he said, I will be there Wednesday night, and I'm going to be tough to beat.
Yep.
He said it.
He's one of the few, Coach. There's a few. You talk about these names, Berkshire, James, Burke, these guys that control their own destiny. They're playing against themselves. And look at this reaction right here. Nice little use of the ground there. He knew it.
So Tim Burke so far has done exactly what he has said he is going to do, and he advances to the quarterfinals tomorrow night. And look at the reaction. Give me some, Tim Burke. Give me some. All right, we got 2 more names to put into the quarterfinals. We continue on live here on the Golf Channel. Moments ago, Tim Burke advances. His quest for a 3rd world title continues. How about former FedEx Cup champion Billy Horschel? Awesome job on my man Tim Burke. Moving on. Or you never know who's watching at home.
I think the tour players love it.
Well, he can try to win his 3rd, but who can forget a year ago right here at the WinStar, the performance put on by Sandra Carlberg.
This is the record book of women's long drive. A beautiful golf swing here. Powerful Swede just uncorked one out there over 320. Beautiful shot.
Her 5th women's title.
Yes.
And the smile to boot. And then on the men's side, who could forget the reaction from Justin James, who won his first Volvic World Long Drive Championship.
This might be the best long drive golf swing in history. One of the best. I mean, I know Zubak made some amazing moves in his day, but that 435 nugget right there with no helping wind, that was huge.
And he had a great line. He said, hey, why did I do that? My wife is hot, and I wanted to give her a hug. I thought it was great. And he's a class act because he was eliminated earlier this week, but he is still hanging out. He is still here. Justin James will present the belt to the winner tomorrow night. But he's had a really good attitude about not making it to the TV broadcast.
He's a pure professional. Love having him in the sport, and definitely look out for every event that he's entered into.
All right, let's send it back down to Jerry, as it is really hard to hit it on this grid. Jerry, you got a little bit more on that.
It is really hard to hit a ball in the grid, Jonathan. When I started covering long drive full-time out here with Golf Channel, I heard a lot of comments from people. Number one is their drivers are illegal. Well, that has been fixed. The drivers conform to 100% of USGA specifications. Also, well, they can't hit it in the fairway. Well, look at this. They swing a 48-inch driver with 3 degrees aloft at 155 miles per hour compared to the club head speed of an average golfer. What that means, the dispersion is more than 5 times greater if you just do one simple thing and leave the club face 1 degree open. So, to the guy at home, the Snickers, when one of these athletes goes 0 for 8, go out on your driving range, set up some cones 9.4 yards wide, or about the width of 2 cart paths, hit 8 balls in 3 minutes, swing as hard as you possibly can, and you won't be snickering when these guys miss the grid. You'll be amazed that one time they do hit it. They are athletes, and they are highly tuned professionals, and they bring you the show.
Thank you, Jerry. No doubt about that. All right, 2 more names to advance to tomorrow night. A winner earlier this season and a man who has defied age, defied father time. Gavin, Costello, live next. All right, it's time for matchup number 7. Let's send it back down to the grid.
Here we go, coming up for the first of 2 times tonight. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, out of Ontario, Canada, it's the Freak, it's Jeff Gavin.
Can a 50-year-old win the Open Division and the Volvic World title? This is the only man on the planet, Coach, that can do it.
This guy has been chucking things as far as he can for all his life. A javelin thrower out of the University of Oklahoma, it's Mark Costello.
I'll tell you, his win in Atlantic City has given him a very quiet confidence, and he still loves being the underdog.
All right, Jeff Gavin will go first. We have an update on his condition. Let's send it back down to Jerry.
Well, I heard from a few people on Twitter that he might be injured. Spoke to Jeff on the practice tee, and I know he can hear me right now because I'm open on the PA, but nonetheless, he did pop a rib in the second ball of his final hitting. He's hit 160 golf balls at full speed at 50 years old, popped a rib. He had 4 people working on it in the locker room before he got ready to warm up, and talking to him on the range, he was in some pain.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that, but that certainly is an injury, Art, that is the last thing you want when you have to go 100% at the golf ball.
That is so painful, I cannot even imagine.
How does that affect your swing? And even there, you can see on the first swing, that's not his normal swing.
That's not his normal speed as well. I mean, 206, he's a little faster than that. First off, you can't even take a deep breath. You can't make a big turn. When you use the ground to push off, the rotation is really going to suffer.
I'll give him all the credit in the world that he has decided to compete. But you can see after the first 2 balls that he's grabbing his rib every time. And he needs this energy, he needs this adrenaline, because he's not just participating here, but he's in the finals of the Masters division later tonight here live as well.
Absolutely. And again, I've watched his entire career, and I'll promise you, without this injury, at 50, I think it's the best he's ever been. And he's been in this sport for well over 15 years. He's gotten better every single year. So let's see if he can just kind of time it up, hit a shot, get one in play.
All right, he is flinching on every
Yeah.
swing and grabbing that right rib. He told me on the practice tee that he's pretty sure something in there is torn, which not only is he fighting the pain, but also the worry of doing more injury to it.
Right.
Big, deep breaths, Jerry, that he takes between every single swing. And, you know, Mark being the gentleman that he is, and I think as a competitor, you never want to win by default. This one looks like
this
it's
is a mark for
stay
sure.
in the grid, and not bad, 369.
Hey, having a mark in this game is something good. So we'll see if he can improve upon that. Jeff went 400 yards in the Masters Division qualifying as well. Here's a good shot. Just left it out right on. He is grabbing that right side right there.
You wonder if he might be smart to not hit his final two and just take his chances.
I don't even. He's got that, like you said, he's got hit against Eddie Fernandes as well. But you know, it's a lot of strain competing in both divisions. That's 9 sets of 8 golf ball.
All right, the trainer has just informed us that he is fully wrapped around his ribs. And you heard Jerry, and you can see Gavin. He's definitely going to get our Warrior of the Night award. We were giving that out.
I say you take a deep breath, hold it, and just let it go.
Let it go. This will be his 8th and final ball. And that one will go off to the right, so you can see how much pain he is in. But the upside is he did get one ball into the grid, 368. So at least Mark Costello will have to beat a number and not just hit one into the grid.
Absolutely. And that's what he had to do, you know, in Atlantic City when he won. But that's a short par 4, Jerry, 368 in the air. Imagine that with the pain he's in.
I can't imagine swinging it with the pain.
Right.
Let's take a look at the big drive to beat by DXL. There you see the red line at 369. And now Mark Costello, who won earlier this season on tour in Atlantic City in that a really difficult grid.
Right. He had 5 events and he made the final 16 3 of 5 times. He's no stranger. He's had a very, very nice, quiet year, ranked 17th in the world. And we'll just see if he can kind of match it up.
29-year-old from Houston, Texas. How does it affect your mindset when you just watched a guy that could barely swing,
right,
but still posted a number, and you know that at 368, if you just hit a good one, you're going to beat it?
Well, you got 11 cameras on you, and I think winning in Atlantic City helps, and I think he likes this one. I think he took care of business right here.
And I think that's going to be enough. We'll see where it lands, and what is the number? All right, and he does. He just beats Jeff Gavin by 4 yards. So Mark Costello, it took him just 2 hits to advance to the quarterfinals, and he looked cool, calm, collected.
That was 80%. That was very smart. He knew what he needed to do because he had that big playoff there in Atlantic City going full out. And he's learning the game real quick, and that's a very big win right here. He'll advance for tomorrow night.
Let's take a look at that winning swing from Mark Costello.
Just a good move right here. I don't think he went, again, very hard. I love how that left knee right there gets behind the golf ball. I love that right there. And a big turn, nice high hands. We'll just go right to impact. Great position. This guy's got a very nice golf swing. Full finish, stuck his finish. I don't think he would have hit that shot 2 months ago, 3 months ago. And look
Real
at
speed?
it. Yeah, look at it right here. And again, that's not full out. He knows. You got to be a seasoned veteran real quick on this tour, I'll tell you what. When you get a bad beat, when you beat yourself, you learn a lot from it in long drive. And nice to see that he's made this adjustment.
All right, he is a showman. Can he move on to the quarterfinals? There is only one Maurice Allen.
This guy is ready to bring the fire, looking to bring the house down, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get a roll for Maurice Allen.
This is the best I've ever seen Maurice look all year. He's peaking at the right time. If he can somewhat control these emotions, he is a dangerous hitter on this tee box.
What a time to shine. Already guaranteed his best finish and looking for way more. Out of Rockwell, Texas, it's Brian Kelly.
Uncharted territory for Brian, but he can play giant killer tonight, and he has no fear.
So Maurice Allen, the 3 seed, the higher seed in this matchup, has decided to hit first and put the pressure on Brian Kelly. He's a man that loves the bright lights, the big stage. How is he prepared, if at all differently, for this Volvic World Long Drive Championship?
Training my body for the unimaginable. Worlds is a grind, and the biggest problem you have with World Championships is you can have a hot day, and a lot of times you will win a tour event if you have a hot day. When you go to the televised events, it's a little different because you have to have a hot day and then be one of the 2 days got to be okay or hot, both days. But when you get to Worlds, it's a hot week.
Art, he's exactly right. They started hitting on Friday. We're now at Tuesday.
Right, 96 down to 16, 9 sets, and he has looked very strong. No issues. He never was behind the 8 ball, and he's chosen to go first. He's 3rd ranked in the world. Let's see what he's got tonight.
Yeah, he's former #1 in the world. He's got a resume a mile long. He's had a lot of success in Europe over the years.
He had a great summer last year, and again, hasn't been his best year. I know he had a little injury, he told me that. So let's just see if he can get a couple balls on the grid early and build from there.
He won the 2017 Mile High Showdown with a drive of 483 yards.
That was a big night, wasn't it? Big night. Folks, if you're out there and if you ever want to hit the ball far, just get on an airplane and go to the Mile High City. Coach, you're even going to hit it 350 up there.
Oh my goodness, don't tease me. Ball number 3 as Maurice Allen trying to get his first one on the grid and set a number. Remember, the higher seed gets the choice to hit first or second.
So you're noticing the golf ball going real high. What that is from a steep angle of attack. So if he can level it out a little bit and square it up, you really get out there. We're going to watch his feet, see what those are like, but he's kind of off the mark to start. You got 4 balls left, and gather yourself, take a deep breath, and let's take a look at the footwork here. He's seasoned enough to where he knows how to square it up. He's got the skills. See this, that right heel off the ground. It'll replant, up, down, little fade back. See if it comes back in play, hugging that left line.
And that is indeed on the grid. We'll see how far it got out there, but certainly a number green is grid. So 382, not bad to set the tone. And we showed his feet a couple of times. He loves his foot game.
Right.
He loves his shoe game.
This one has a little bit of more curve on it. See if it hangs on.
Had a lot of spin on it, too.
And that one will stay in the grid, but it is short of 380, so 382 will stay. So 2 balls to go, about 45 seconds.
That's a little bit steep. There's too high of an apex there.
You know, Maurice told me a couple of weeks ago in Tennessee that it's not about winning and losing. It's about the fact that he feels blessed to be out here for such a long period of time and to be one of the faces of this sport. So final ball as Brian Kelly gets ready to tee it up. We'll see what Maurice Allen has for his 8th and final ball. All right, that one goes to the left, and he is frustrated and unhappy with himself. But 3 in the grid. The farthest one, 382, and that's the mark for Brian Kelly to beat to move on to the quarterfinals. And Maurice Allen knows that that's not a huge number. Let's take a look at the big drive to beat by DXL. There you see it. What do you make of Brian Kelly? What do we know? We haven't seen him on TV this year. Can he beat 382?
He sure can. He actually lives nearby in Rockwall, Texas. He works with Buck Mayers, a great teacher out of Escondido Club down in Marble Falls, Texas. And he's been out here on tour and got a very nice golf swing. See, but again, he's never faced this kind of condition. So we'll see if he's got the nerve. I think it's all about nerve. It's about calming yourself to square one up. I think hit some great shots in qualifying.
We've seen this entire night. Even the veterans that have come out and been under the lights before, it's a different animal than the regular tour events.
Right.
With the crowd and the music and the concert before the event, everything that goes in to this event is different and feels different.
I bet if you told him right now, Jerry, that he just hit 2 golf balls in less than 25 seconds, he wouldn't have believed you, because you don't even know what your body's doing. This is a good shot here.
Yeah, that one's climbing, though.
Yeah, it is.
Not coming back much. Maurice is not confident his number's going to hold up. We'll see.
All right, that one stays in the grid.
A little high in the face, 196 on the speed, so he's going to need to get that to about 208 would be his number to get out there where Maurice is.
345 and his 4th ball well off the grid. He's got to somewhere find 37 yards in these final 4 balls.
Until you've been on this stage, until you've hit with this pressure, it's hard to explain. It's a good shot right here. See what the ball speed is. 204, he upped it. So this ball definitely should go out there much further.
All right, that
this is
one
getting
is
close.
380 and 381. Wow. And keep in mind, if the balls are within 6 inches of each other, that is considered a tie. But that was officially 380.
He's got the distance. That's a really nice thank you, I can compete number. You got a minute left. You got 2 golf balls.
A very nervous looking Maurice Allen, who would desperately love to make it to tomorrow night.
Good golf swing. What a good golf swing.
We'll see if that's enough. Brian Kelly. No, it's not. It's at 370. So Brian Kelly down to his final ball. 382 is the number to beat.
Love how he shakes the tension out with these waggles. Beautiful action right here. I like that with the hands and the wrists. Oh, good golf swing again. Little rise, little spin. He's got to be proud of himself.
And that one will land just short of 380. So Maurice Allen dodges a bullet. Brian Kelly gave it everything he had. He put several on the grid. It just wasn't enough. Maurice Allen wins by 2 yards.
It's a game that's so close, and Maurice knows he got one there. Good performance. Hats off to Brian Kelly. First time under the lights, 4 solid shots. Really good performance.
Oh, you can see Maurice Allen, a big sigh of relief as he gets it done here on Tuesday night. I want to see how he got it done, Art.
Yep. We're going to put him right there in that grid. Freeze it right there. Look at that foot up off the ground. Both toes off the ground right there. Then he's going to set them both down. Try to use the ground. He didn't even put the right one down. Look at that at impact right there. I mean, boom, good straight line, good extension. He's got a lot of power, super power.
So Maurice Allen walks off to the quarterfinals. We've got one more thing to decide, and that is the Masters division. Can Jeff Gavin even compete? He says, you're going to have to pull me off the grid. Gavin taking on Fast Eddie Fernandes. We'll crown a champion. Hang with us. We're live here on the Golf Channel. 43 years this wonderful championship has been going on, and we're going to crown 3 different champions. The first one coming up right now, the Masters division. So let's get right to it. Let's hit it down to the grid.
He is ready to get back out there. The Masters Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up once again for my man, Jeff Gavin.
How tough is Jeff? I just watched him hit range balls practicing. I mean, that is unbelievable.
Oh, there he is.
Hit more balls.
He's making a very dramatic entrance.
Yes, he is.
He's just getting wrapped a minute ago.
And his opponent, he's done over 100 charity long drive and golf events a year. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Fast Eddie. It's Eddie Fernandes.
An impeccable golf swing. Folks, hit your DVR right now. Keep this swing. This is one to watch. 48 years old, incredible speed.
Remember, this is a guy that went up in the very first event of the year against Justin Moose in the Men's Open Final. Let's just be honest. He came here to the WinStar wanting to win the Men's Open.
Yeah, big letdown for him. You know, every bracket's tough, and he was close. He hit the Open Division all year long. Just watch this action right here. He's coached by Lucas Wald, and just you'll see what we call here vertical thrust, this little power squat that he has. We'll start focusing on that, but watch this set. See if he can come through tonight.
Yeah, he's in incredible shape, and he had to wait around, you know, all the way until late tonight to hit. So you wonder if motivation's an issue, if nerves are an issue, having to watch everybody hit. There's a lot of things that come into play.
He wants that belt, and he knows he's got an injured man that he's playing against. So if he can hit one out there, I'm going to say 375.
You think that'll get it done?
Should get it done. That was a knuckleball right there. No spin. It fell out of the sky right there.
So green is in the grid, so that will be a number. Although he will not be happy if that's the number to beat.
No, 89 feet there in the apex, so you got to get the launch up. Surprised at this set, he's going very fast. Again, how many range balls has he hit? He did compete in both divisions. No excuses here.
Well, there you see Jeff Gavin. If you're just joining us, just tuning in, where have you been, first of all? Second of all, Jeff Gavin feels like there's something torn in his rib cage.
Right.
Every hit he made in the Open Division match, he grimaced, but he said we'd have to drag him out of here to not compete in this finals against Eddie Fernandes.
That ball worked well across the grid, all the way across, going to hang on that line. We'll see it's out of play.
That one just about a half yard off the grid. Remember, if it goes off the grid, it cannot come back into the grid. So ball number 5, halfway home for Eddie Fernandes.
So he's set to go with the fade. Jerry looks out of sync. We've seen him all year and looks totally out of sync.
I really can't believe I'm about to say this, but he actually needs to spin it more, Art.
Right.
That ball is knuckleball. Almost looks like a topspin lob if you've been watching the U.S. Open tennis.
3 balls, minute left.
Here's a good shot, and he pulled it. Goodness sakes, he's killing himself on that because they've all curved.
You know, Eddie, he's such a perfectionist, too. He really wants to do well. He always keeps himself in tremendous shape, always finds us to tell us how things are going, how he's feeling, and always wants to put on a good show as well. So 2 balls, 30 seconds.
Good shot. Good shot right here. Good shot. He likes that.
See if that one comes back, and it looks like it is.
That's a good one.
So we'll see where that...
There you go.
Oh, that's a really good number. So 373. So he's able to add about 50 yards to it.
Yeah, this division's 45 and over. 45 and over. Another good shot. Now he got in the groove. The last 2 right there.
And that one looks like it's going to come back. And it does. But that's going to be a little bit short. All right, so Eddie Fernandes, 3 balls in the grid. The number to beat, 373. And with the physical condition that Jeff Gavin is in, is that going to be enough?
Wasn't he 369 before, just almost grabbing his side in that previous match that he hit against Costello? So I think it's doable. I mean, Jerry, what do you think?
I was just going to ask you, you know him better than anybody else and his abilities, but if he hits it his best, if he wasn't hurt, it really wouldn't be an issue to get one that far, would it be?
No, it wouldn't. And I think the shot, oh, what a great start right here. What a start.
And we'll see if that stays on the grid. And it basically stops in his tracks at about 350.
Yep, 197 on the ball speed.
So he's got to find 23 yards somewhere. I know Jeff Gavin's not in it for respect. He already has that, but he's gained all of our respect tonight by continuing to compete, even though the doctor would probably tell him no.
Right, exactly. The shot Fernandes hit is for a fast grid. That ball would have rolled 40 yards plus, so it was a little flat.
Well, the ball that Jeff just hit before that would have easily, it flew 385.
Yeah, it was high.
So he's got it, if he gets it.
3 balls down, minute off the clock, so the pacing is good. This for the Masters Volvic World Long Drive Championship.
I don't see him grabbing his side as much. Jerry, you agree here?
You know, he's flinching. He's flinching like crazy.
I know he's flinching.
Right now, he's just not letting them see you sweat. It's like the baseball batter who gets hit. He doesn't touch it when he's running down to first.
That one coming right over it. Certainly not his normal swing. That is obvious. There's Eddie Fernandes. He is 3 balls away from winning a belt that is coveted so much in this sport.
You know it's going to hurt. You know it's excruciating. You're worried about injuring yourself, but yet here he is on his 6th ball, swinging as hard as he possibly can.
Yeah, he thought that was a good swing. That one came over the top again. So Jeff Gavin, the 50-year-old, down to just 2 balls.
212 miles an hour. So, Jerry, you're spot on. Plenty of speed to beat that kind of number. He hits it high enough. Wants to start it down that right corner inside that tree and see if he can turn it. Didn't turn it.
All right, so here it is. The Masters division all comes down to this. 373, the number to beat. Can Jeff Gavin get it done, or will Eddie Fernandes be your champion? And that one will go well off the grid. So Eddie Fernandes. Fast Eddie is your champion. He will take home the belt. But give a lot of credit to Jeff Gavin, who came out here, competed in the Open Division tonight, and came back to compete against Eddie Fernandes. And you can see the emotion by Eddie Fernandes. Jeff Gavin, dejected. What a heartbreak to have an injury happen the day of an event. All right, how did Eddie get it done?
I love this golf swing. I love this setup right here. We'll stop it at the top. And again, look at the knee behind the golf ball. If you really want to do it right, you got to get that knee behind the golf ball. Huge shoulder turn right there. Awesome. He's going to plant that left foot down. Then here comes the squat. Then up you go right there. Just fantastic straight line right there at impact. Awesome. Good extension. Classic golf swing.
Time to crown a champion. Let's send it down to Jerry Folks.
It is, and it's so neat that the World Long Drive and the Volvic World Long Drive Championship pays respect to the past the way they do. 45 years of history. The Masters division isn't necessarily in that jest, but it is a big part of what makes this event so successful. Of course, Fast Eddie winning it this time. Zach Colbert, the WinStar General Manager of Gaming Operations and Marketing, is here to help us present the trophy, as is last year's winner, the Critter, Jeff Crittenden. Jeff, if you will do the honors.
Congratulations. Thanks, buddy.
All right, Eddie, I know you came here with goals of making a dent in the Open competition, but also the Masters division. Does holding that and knowing that it's yours meet the reality of what you expected?
Yeah, I mean, it's a grind, and I know what Jeff is going through. Him and I kind of battled out in the Open division all year, and we made a bunch of Final Eights in the Open division, and I think we scared a couple of the young guys. And I'll tell you what, we worked really hard. Lucas Wald, thank you so much. You were the missing piece. Barrett Stover at home, my trainer, Jeff Flagg, all my buddies and my family. My wife couldn't be here. She just celebrated her mom's 80th birthday this past weekend in Chicago with the kids. So love you guys so much. This one's for you. And my brother Steve, who passed away 3 years ago, who I had his piece in my pocket from when he passed away, a little proverb thing. And And he was my mentor and my idol growing up, and he taught me, you know, how to compete, how to win, and watching him win national championship in wrestling was really special, and I owe him a lot. This is for him up in heaven. And my dad's 88th birthday was supposed to be today, and he passed 2 years ago. So yeah, special, very special.
Congratulations, a great champion you are. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for Eddie Fernandes.
All right, 2 more titles will be awarded tomorrow live here on Golf Channel. We are down to the quarterfinals, the final 8 in the men's open division. And Art, when you look at these names, we've got some big-time matchups.
Right out of the gate, Hogue and Moose, that should be the match of the night tomorrow night. Steenberg, perennial on tour this year. A great victory there for Maurice Allen. And, of course, the 2-time champion looking for belt number 3, Tim Burke, going against Josh Cassaday. Action-packed.
Who's going to be your winner tomorrow when you look at this right now?
Right now I go with Will Hogue. I think he's unstoppable into this condition right here with the year he's had. He's unstoppable.
There are several big names tonight that came by the booth, and they almost looked at it as like, we know we skated by, but we know we have to be better tomorrow night.
Absolutely. It's match play. And again, you saw a couple players like Kyle Berkshire tonight not get a ball in play. And in this sport, you got to know how to get one in play when you're first, and you got to know how to close the door when somebody doesn't. Jim Waldron did that tonight.
The competition has never been better. This was only night 1. We continue tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern, right here on the Golf Channel. The quarterfinals of the men, and don't forget, the top 4 women in the world will tee it up tomorrow night as well. That'll do it for us. For Mark, Jerry, Art, Jonathan, we'll see you tomorrow night live for the 2018 conclusion Volvic World Long Drive Championship.